Hello everybody, today I'm gonna share something very interesting with you. You all know Zongzi, right? Zongzi translated as rice dumpling. So it's a traditional Chinese rice dish made of glutinous rice stuffed with a range of fillings and wrapped in bamboo leaves. You might have eaten that before. And so we eat Zongzi during Dragon Ball Festival. That's a tradition custom to commemorates the figure that I'm gonna talk about today, Qu Yuan. He's a patriotic poet of state of Chu. So legend has it that after he threw himself into the Milo River, the people placed rice in bamboo tubes and cast them into the river to prevent fish and shrimp from devouring his body. So over the centuries, Zongzi evolved from ritual offering into a festival delicacy, and the Qu Yuan became the most representative spiritual symbol of Dragon Ball Festival. So today, what I'm gonna share with you is a very famous exchange between a fisherman and a Qu Yuan. Imagine this. You work at a company. You discover that your boss is ignoring a problem that could seriously hurt people. You warn them, they don't listen. Someone else gets promoted for telling the boss what he wants to hear. Then you get pushed out. And later the thing you worry about actually happened. So the company damaged, people suffer, and you're standing outside the building with no job, no influence, and nowhere to fix it. So an elder coworker pulls you aside and say, "You were right, but you could have handled it better. Why destroy your life over this?" So this is basically the story of Qu Yuan and the fisherman. It happened more than 2,000 years ago in ancient China. Qu Yuan was not originally a poet sitting alone by a river. He was a high-level advisor in the state of Chu. He helped draft policy, advise the king, deal with foreign powers. Then court politics turned against him. A rival accused him taking credit for his work. Then the king began to distrust him. So later, Qu Yuan would the king not to trust the powerful neighboring country of Qin. But the king ignored him. He went away. He was trapped. He died in Qin. And Qu Yuan watched the disaster unfold before him from the outside. So when we met him in the story, he's not simply sad. He's a man who believes, "I tried to stop this. Nobody listened. Now the people who caused the damages are still in charge." The text is called The Fisherman. After Qu Yuan was exiled, he wandered by the river, walking and reciting poetry beside the marshes. His face was worn down. His body looks exhausted. Then a fisherman sees him. He recognizes him and say, "Aren't you the former official? What happened to you?" And Qu Yuan gave one of the most famous answers in Chinese literature. "The whole world is muddy. I alone am clear. Everyone is drunk. I alone am sober. Let's be honest." That's an intense thing to say. It can sound brave. It can sound unbearable. Because every one of us has met someone who said, "Everyone else is fake. Everybody else is asleep. I'm the only one who sees what's really happening." Sometimes a person is a whistleblower. But this kind of rhetoric may sound familiar to you. You know who I'm talking about. Sometimes the person is just impossible to be around, and sometimes they are both. That's why the scene is so good. It doesn't let us admire Qu Yuan too easily. The fisherman answered him, "A wise man doesn't get stuck. A wise person knows how to move with the world. Then he said, if the water is muddy, why not move with the current? If everyone is drunk, why not share their cheap wine? This is not the fisherman saying, go be corrupt. He's not Asian Chinese human resources. He's saying something more practical. The world is messy. Don't let a messy world make every decision for you. Find a way to stay alive. In America, it sounds like a friend who is telling you, don't sign the line, but document everything. Talk to a lawyer, find another job, keep your health insurance. Don't hand your whole life to people who don't deserve it. That's a fisherman's wisdom. Survival is not always surrender. It's a strategy. But Qu Yuan can accept that. He says, how could I let what's clean in me be covered by the fields but the fields around me? Then he say, I'd rather enter the river than let my bright whiteness be covered by the dust of this world. This is where we need to slow down. Don't turn this into a beautiful quote about this. It's not he dies and therefore he won. The real question is, was Qu Yuan protecting his integrity, or had integrity become the only identity that he had left? There is danger in both directions. The fisherman's danger is obvious. You can adapt so much that you eventually start calling the mud clean. Then you say, that's just how business work. That's just politics. That's the industry. That's how things work. That's just a life. And one day you realize you have spent 10 years defending things you once have hated. But Qu Yuan has a danger too. When you say, I alone am clean, you may stop asking whether you're wrong. You may begin to need the word to be dirty, because being the clean one has become your all story. You may make pen into a moral trophy. That's a question the critical rating Qu Yuan has forced us to ask. Was he good or bad? No, not this question. It's, can someone be morally serious and still be blind to their own pride? Yes, absolutely. That's why the fisherman may be more than just a fisherman. Maybe he's not literally Qu Yuan's other self, but the story make him feel like one. One part of Qu Yuan say, don't become like them. The other part say, don't let them kill you. One voice say, hold the line. The other say, live long enough to matter. And honestly, most of us live somewhere between the two voices. You might know this feeling. Maybe you left a church, a family's business, of a friend group, a movement, or a company, or relationship because staying began to feel like lying. But living cost something: money, community, career, a sense of belonging. The question is, can you survive without pretending the mud is clean? Can you resist the mud without pretending that you're spotless? That's why Qu Yuan is still worth talking about, not because he's a tragic victim or superhero, not because everyone who refuses to compromise is automatically noble. He matters because he shows us what happens when someone's value and survival stop fitting inside the same life. The fisherman gave him an exit, but Qu Yuan refused it. Maybe that's his greatness, that's his tragedy. The fisherman leaves, saying, when the river is clear, wash your hat stream. When the river is muddy, wash your feet. He doesn't say the mud Muddy River is beautiful. He doesn't say corruption is good. He say know what kind of water you're standing in. That's a hard lesson in this story. Don't call mud clean. Don't call self-destruction courage. Don't let the world convince you that staying alive means becoming like it. Which choice do you like more? Qu Yuan's I will not sell out all the fishermen's. Don't let them take your whole life. That's it for tonight. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.